Socially Awkward Studios. We got your dude, Steve-O. And me, I'm my boy Froyo. It's Friday night. The drinks are tight. Let's have some fun.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Socially Awkward. I am Steve-O.
And I am Matthew.
Ooh, it's our Halloween Spooktacular.
Shit, I'm scared.
You should be, and we all should be scared. But yeah, we are back in the studio. We're waiting on our guest host this week, but we do have a good show for you tonight. The show's been posted. There is a phone number for everyone to call. I should probably pull that up again.
Yeah, you can call and leave us voicemails at 480-788-2554.
There you go. Matthew's got it set, but it also is in the description, which I'm still trying to post in all of our news feeds and everything like that. But yes, we are back. I know the show started a little late, but we're having some spooky holiday kind of beer. I don't know if this is. I thought it was like a werewolf on this brand, but it's not. But it's still good. It's blackberry goose, so that's pretty tasty.
Yeah, by Odell Brewing from Colorado, Fort Collins to be exact. It's very good. Yeah, it's like it's a sour beer, so that's cool.
It's very, very delicious. But yes, before we start the show, we like to also give a shout out to everybody where you can find us at sociallyawkwardstudios.com, 4iRadio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, Zune Marketplace, Blackberry Podcast, Blueberry Podcast, Mirror Guide, Double Twist, YouTube Radio, Swell Radio, Player FM, and Podcast Directory. We're also brought to you by Amazon.com. You don't go to Amazon, you go to the Sasquatch.net, click on that Amazon banner, and shop like you normally do. We get a little taste if you do. So, Matthew, without further ado, how's your week been?
Good. We had a Halloween potluck today. Dressed up as a sock monkey.
Yes, I got your Marco Polo.
Yeah, a little video messaging that we do. And it was my legs did not, were not covered up because my legs were longer than the material. But that's okay. Got it off Amazon.
Like you should do. So you go to the Sasquatch.net, click on that. Okay, you already know.
I live it, bro.
Sorry, I'm literally trying to find all the stuff to freaking post every outlet and everything like that. But
just enjoy yourself with the show, man.
But it is Friday night, and it also is the night, pretty much the weekend before Halloween. So I know a lot of people will probably be going to Halloween parties and everything like that. So do us a favor, if you're friends of the show, listeners of the show, and you want to tweet us your costumes that you went for Halloween or anything like that, we can post them on the Facebook page and figure out what our listeners went for. I know I'm going to have a pretty good costume. I'm not telling anybody what it is because everyone will find out on Halloween. I'm trying to keep it very secret. I do feel sorry for Matthew and Eric because I have a feeling the costume is not going to be just worn on that day. I'm probably going to wear it constantly, and you guys are going to be getting a lot of Marco Polos with me in this costume.
Dude, I hope I only get it on Halloween. Otherwise, I'm going back out of that Marco Polo group.
No, you're getting it every day. In fact, I'm just going to send it directly to your Marco Polo every day.
Spooky.
But Matthew, how has your week been?
Just told you, man.
Oh, just the sock monkey thing happened today?
Yeah, that was really the big thing that happened. So.
No. There's been some big things that happened today that I don't know if you want to share or not. But I mean, not only did you have your potluck, but you made an amazing macaroni and cheese.
Oh, it was like toxic waste mac and cheese. So it was like toxic waste colored. And yeah, not a lot of people wanted to eat it. And I think it was just because of the coloring. But that's okay. At least I contributed.
Hey, yeah, okay, because, yeah, we had that conversation, I think, last week where you were saying, like, you were upset that people weren't, like, you weren't talking to people, and people were like, you're very non-social, which I find that very hard to believe with you. You're like a social butterfly, because literally you'll go anywhere and just be like, oh, hi, how you doing? You'll find out stuff about people. Like, you're just one of those, you're an easy, approachable person. And you're just, hey, thanks. Hi. My AOL Messenger went off. That's a joke, kids, from the 90s. But yeah, so when I heard that, and then you started doing that, being more outgoing, more productive, and then they're like, yeah, you're talking too much. It's like, you can't have it both ways, people. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, but Matthew, he dropped up as a sock monkey, and next year you can do the same thing. Just put little evil eyebrows on it, to say you're the evil sock monkey from old great comic that is no longer around called School Days. I'm sorry, I'm pimping really horrible shit right now. But yeah, so other than that, then we'll talk about it probably tomorrow. But we finally all got together and gamed last night, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, we did. We played. We attempted to play some Jackbox party game, but the broadcast over Twitch was really laggy, so we decided not to do that, and we jumped over to Borderlands 2, which is currently free to play this weekend on Xbox One. So we did that, and it was fun. And then we played a little Gears of War 4 after that.
Yeah, so that's really fun. So we'll talk about that a little bit more on Arcade Bros, because of course this is our Halloween Spooktacular. But yeah, my week's been okay, just the normal. Today went by pretty fast. I don't know if that's you or me.
I think it's me.
Okay, I'm just going to put myself on mute until I do my magical sound drops and everything like that. But yeah, Steven will be joining us shortly, hopefully. He was doing an art gallery thing, and I believe his birthday is coming up soon, or if it's not, has already passed. It's really bad when he's not on Facebook anymore, because I don't know how to tag him in things. So I've been using a lot of the Twitter and everything like that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what I actually did this week. I don't think much of anything. It's just been pretty laid back. Got my nerd block, which I'm wearing my Simpsons Halloween t-shirt right now, which is actually pretty nice and comfortable. Really enjoyed that.
Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah, except when I bashed on this year's Treehouse of Horror on B Horrorcast, I just didn't find it very impressive.
Yeah.
No horror films, like, really. It was like a Mad Max spoof and I think a Hunger Games spoof, and then I forget what else. It wasn't really any horror film kind of theme. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, they could literally do like a great one, like spoofing on what was it? Oculus.
Oh, the movie or the product?
The movie.
Okay.
Well, technically, they could probably do both and do a mashup with Bart and Lisa, because they're both brother and sister, and do something with that. The father going crazy, killing the mother, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I came up The Visit, the Midnight Shyamalan Ding Dong. They could have gone and see like Grandpa Simpsons and had that whole like weird, like there was so many. And then I sat there thinking, going like, fuck, do I need to write for the Simpsons like horror, like Halloween Treehouse? I mean, I don't have any like requirements to do it, but I did come up with like 3 solid ideas that was kind of like, okay, if I can come up with these ideas, why didn't you guys do it? Like. I'm like, I didn't go to...
You need to send them a strongly worded tweet, my friend.
Yeah. It's over 140 characters.
Shit, how am I going to let them know exactly what's on my fucking mind?
I shouldn't have tagged everybody I know.
Why am I talking like I'm an old, grumpy old man? Because I am.
Yeah, I'm kind of grumpy and old and bigoted and whatnot. But yeah, and then... So I'm trying to think of... I did talk about a lot of creepy stuff that happened on B Horrorcast, but I have to bring this up. This was pretty crazy, and I wanna pitch the movie idea to you and see how you feel. So in Russia, fuck. I just mentioned Russia, and you're like, hate it.
Done. No, go ahead.
Yeah, put that wall back up, Russia. I don't know why Matthew's New Yorkin now, but hey, you put that wall back up.
New Yorkin?
Yeah, New Yorkin. Yeah, it's a New Yorker who eats a Yorkin patty. See what I did there?
Tell us your idea.
See what I did there? Saved it. No, I didn't. No, so I was thinking of like, there was a story that came out of Russia. Apparently, a woman was arrested. A 68-year-old grandma was arrested for murdering and eating 14 people.
Yeah, let's lock her ass up.
Oh, no, she got arrested because they finally found pictures or a video of her disposing her neighbor's body in a garbage bag, like throwing it into the river. But she killed her husband back when she was like 58 or 53, something like that.
And ate them.
Yeah, she would eat them, like 14 freaking. She killed her tenant, so I'm like, wow, that place was really rent controlled.
Yeah.
But I came up with an idea. I go, Oscar-winning performance. You make it serious, no, like, but you get. I would like to see Betty White.
Betty White.
Just for her to be that sweet old grandma and just watch her turn, like on a dime. Oh, that'd be amazing. That's her last performance, Oscar winner, and then she can, I mean, she doesn't have to retire, but she's like, I did it.
She plays like she did in Lake Placid, where she was feeding the crocodiles and stuff. That's why she was able to stay alive.
Oh, shit.
Have you never seen Lake Placid?
I've not seen Lake Placid.
Oh.
I gotta...
Well, She helps the Gators.
Oh, okay. So is she the bad guy in that then?
No,
No. Okay.
she's just in it.
Uh, But yeah, so I'm trying to think of. Oh yeah, we'll dive into that since Steven's not here, and I don't think he watched them all. I did tell him to watch it, but Matthew and I are excited. We were
Yes.
talking about it last weekend, but Black Mirror.
Black Mirror is back, season 3 on Netflix.
Yes, so if you haven't, not only are you getting 6 episodes, because every other season has been 3 episodes, and then they had that Christmas special with John Hamm, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But the thing is like I can't just tell people because I'm like I know it's every episode is one story. But I'd rather not tell people to jump into just watch the Christmas special. It's fantastic. No. You literally have to watch all of these just because like all of them do tie in with each other, but not how you would think. You just get to see like how the world around them is.
Yeah.
Such as they use a lot of the same features that are in each episode. And actually it's kind of cool because you kind of see the time periods when kind of watching these videos because some of them are really advanced in the future and some of them are really just like they're modern time, but they do have a little bit of tech. So it's a very cool formula, but yeah. So right off the bat, we'll kind of dive into it. So you haven't seen Black Mirror, I'm sorry, we're gonna spoil some stuff for you, but yeah. So they come in out of the gates, first episode. What was your feelings about the first
I
episode?
thought it was good, man, and they had some well-known actors. That was like Jessica Chastain and I forget the other lady's name, but I recognized both of them, and I thought it was good. It was really kind of a homage to social media and how people like concentrate so much on having likes and being seen and just like upvotes and things like that. And it really took it and kind of put a little spin on it and shows the rise and the fall of it. I thought it was good.
I really liked it. I actually thought like you kind of think it's funny because you kind of think like there might be a cool there's always a cool twist. The twist I thought with that episode, like at the end when she kind of went batshit crazy at her friend's wedding, I was kind of hoping like she would start like just bringing up everything, like almost like a comedian, and then all of like her likes would go up because of it. Like everyone's just like, oh my god, they're like she's telling it how it is, and everyone loves this and stuff like that, and they just kept giving her likes and like the 5 stars and everything like that.
I do have to do a correction. It's not Jessica Chastain. It's Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, okay.
So. I do want to put a correction on that one.
But yeah, I thought that's how that was going to go. But then I did like how it still ended because then it's like she kind of met the person that she's supposed to kind of be with. So it did have kind of a bittersweet ending. Next episode, holy crap.
Yeah, the next one's really
What
kind
a
of a mindfuck. And has to deal with like video games and taking it to like the next level. And yeah, dude.
Okay, so how did you feel about that episode? Cause
Actually, I'm on episode 5.
Oh, okay, so you're even more ahead than I. Okay, because I gotta watch.
I just pulled.
Okay,
up,
so we're gonna just talk about the first 3 episodes because I gotta catch up this weekend. I thought I was gonna catch up this week, but for whatever reason, I did not have time to watch the show. I barely watched like any shows this week. I think I was only able to watch Walking Dead, and then I think the newest episode of The Flash. Walking Dead, we will get into that. So spoilers alerts if you have not seen Walking Dead. Of course, the internet has kind of spoiled it for a lot of people and jokes and memes and everything like that. But yeah, no, second episode is really cool. Now, how did you feel about like the spider thing?
I instantly said, "Fuck that! I'm petrified of spiders."
Yeah, no, that's why.
I said, nope, no, not chill, no chill right there.
Yeah, so I did enjoy that episode. I thought it was really kind of cool. But how it ended, I was all like, "What a complete mindfuck!" And then I'm sitting there going like, "Okay." The next episode can't get any more messed up and twisted than this one was. And then, of course, Black Mirror does, hey, yeah, you know what we're doing? Yeah, we're going to mindfuck you again. Yeah, that last episode, that 3rd episode I watched, holy freaking crap. So not only did it have a guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Jerome Flynn.
In it, but just a really solid freaking episode. So, and then just literally like, so basically like a kid basically what happens is a kid does something, they record him doing it, and they kind of blackmail him. And they tell him he has to do all these kind of tasks. And while he's doing these like miscellaneous tasks for them, you find out there's more and more people that are getting blackmailed by this anonymous kind of like internet troll, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, hey, we have some dirt on you if you don't figure this stuff. If you don't do the stuff that we ask, we're going to release this stuff.
Yeah, we're going to release it.
And
to
and like how, and literally how it escalated. Like literally when he gets to that one part where he's just like, you guys have to fight to the death. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. And I just like the fact that he was like, I'm going to just kill myself. And then you find out the gun isn't even loaded. It's just like, holy crap. And then it just kind of ends with everyone getting fucked anyways. You're like, oh my God. Like, that literally episode ended. I was like, I want to watch the next one, but I think I got to do something because I'm kind of like, what the fuck just happened kind of thing. So I don't know if that left you like that at all, or were you just like, oh, this is awesome.
Well, I mean, I left it and I was like, that fucking sucks, but shit happens. like what are you gonna do? Like, you're fucked. Sorry, bud. But no, it's good.
Yeah, no, Black Mirror is really solid, and it kind of makes me a little angry. I mean, if we're gonna get 6 episodes every time a new season gets released, then I'm excited. But again, then I'm gonna have to wait until like next October for season 4. It's kind of a mind fuck right now, where you're like, oh.
Well, I mean, you can go back and watch all these ones because they're so good.
No, they are very good. So yeah, like what I've been saying, it's like a new Twilight Zone, but it deals with a lot of like technology kind of base.
Yeah, it's like present day, near future. Technology has advanced in all the forms and aspects of living and utilizing the tech, and it's great story writing. And if you like stuff that kind of trips with your mind, like Westworld, then yeah, I love it. Yeah,
we're saving Westworld because Steven, he watches Westworld. Nice. So unless we get to our first break and he's not here, then I'm gonna be like, damn you.
But the next episode, you haven't seen it yet.
No, I have not.
It's a break from the mind fucks, but it's good. It's a quality episode.
Okay.
And it's got Mackenzie Davis, who plays one of the leads on *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Oh,
which
okay.
Is an FX. No, AMC. It's an AMC series. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anything else that you have dived into? Because I know, like, the new seasons have started for TV shows and everything like that. Is there anything that you're current with that you're excited about? Like, have you been keeping up with Gotham? Have you been keeping up with any of those things? Or are you just kind of letting things stack on your...
I've got a lot on the DVR. Not keeping up with Gotham, but I have it recorded. More stuff that Megan and I sit down and watch on a weekly basis, like Life with Kevin.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that last week.
Yeah, liking that. Also, obviously New Girl's back, Modern Family, The Goldbergs. I love the Goldbergs. I'm like obsessed with the show. Every season
I have to go back.
It's like quality to me.
I think I've only seen the first season. There's so many things that I've seen the first season and just forget about.
Mm-hmm. Life with Pieces is back. Just saw that recorded the other night.
Life with Pieces? What is this?
Yeah, so that is... it's on, I believe it's ABC, and it's got Colin Hanks. There's a bunch of different people. Anyways, it's a family.
Okay.
And a family of siblings, and they all have their married family.
Okay.
And kids, and like the grandparents or their parents are like the glue that holds everything together.
Okay.
And they have like 3 or 4 different stories each episode where they'll like interact with each other and their storylines intertwine, but it focuses on probably one of the families within that story, and it's really funny. Okay. It's a funny show.
Now, is that like their kind of like ABC's version? No, wait, but that is on ABC, isn't it? Modern Family.
Yeah, this might be.
I would say it's ABC's.
This might be ABC. I don't know. Whatever.
No,
but this is the opposite of Modern Family for whatever network it's on.
I would say that, but I'm starting to believe that Modern Family is on ABC though.
Let's see.
Let's go to the internet, kids. Find out.
Modern Family is on ABC. Life in Pieces. Life in Pieces is on CBS.
Okay.
That sums that up. All right. But anyways, it's CBS's equivalent to ABC's Modern Family, and it's really funny. And that is my point. I'm sticking to it. We're grabbing beers. Don't be mad. And we're back.
Yeah, this is why our request for a another co-host is still out there because we do need somebody to grab beers and.
Been watching that. Fucking Total Bellas, doing our shit. But we're just kind of all over the place. So.
Oh, Eric Dewey actually is in the chat room with us tonight, our old co-host and everything like that. He mentioned The Good Place. Steven mentioned that last week. It's something I do want to check out. I believe it was with Ted Danson and Jessica... No, the girl from... I'm fucking blanking on her mind, and I like her.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell, thank you. Apparently, she goes to heaven. But she's not meant for heaven.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric. Eric hit us.
Haven't watched it.
Yeah, Steven was talking about it. He said it's really, pretty funny and stuff like that. Sad part is he says he probably doesn't think it's going to get a second season, but this is something that he would like to see where the story would go.
Nice.
And that usually happens. There's a lot of TV shows that are doing really good, and then they never amount to anything, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know of that one. I haven't watched it. Honestly, there's just too much shit out there right now. It's like everybody's competing to get all their good stuff in. And I mean, television is now better than it has ever been, in my opinion. But there's just so much to consume.
Well, it's so crazy now. Like a lot of, I would have to say, I want to say maybe FX kind of set the bar. And then AMC kind of took note from them and started doing their own kind of programming. So back in the day, if people remember, FX came out with like Nip Tuck and all these kind of like risque kind of shows where they were showing a little bit of nudity.
Yeah, good series. Nip Tuck's rad.
Nip Tuck is great up until the final season. The final season I just felt was like crap on a cracker. But my favorite season is season 3 just because it has that cool like serial killer shit that's going on. That would be a thing that I would like to rewatch, Nip Tuck, and then just talk about like that season because that season was so well done. But they started with all those kind of shows, and then AMC, of course, with Walking Dead and Halt and Catch Fire, and then also now with Preacher, Mad Men. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think actually Mad Men was before all that. So yeah, so I would say Mad Men and then Breaking Bad were probably the first two pinnacles that kind of brought. And everyone realized, like, oh, I can tell these really good stories in a television series, and I'm not kidding you. I know Matthew will probably never watch them. But, like, seriously, the DCW shows, they're DCW shows, but they're really, like, bringing that superhero A-game. And it's really kind of funny because you're watching this stuff going, like, why can't some of the movies do this?
Right.
Why can't movies start being this, well-written and episodic? And that's why I think the Netflix series are doing so well with Luke Cage. Yeah, I don't want to see the Nick Cage series.
No.
Yeah, I'm indestructible.
No. Yeah, Luke Cage. It was funny at work. The accounting department all dressed up as superheroes.
Oh, nice.
And I went around and I was like, guessing each one. And somebody dressed up as Jessica Jones. And our controller thought I wouldn't be able to get it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're Jessica Jones. And she was like, oh, he's so good. That was funny. But I was like,
yeah, the worst part is when I start picking out superhero names and stuff like that. Like, actually, one obscure... I finally started I didn't get a chance to go, which I feel really bad. Never got a chance to make my way over to FanFest this year, as usual. I'm just starting to believe it's not in the cards for me. Like, I totally forgot. I thought it was this weekend. And I was all like, yeah, I'll make it. And you're like, no, it's this last week. You're like, no, it's this week. I'm like, fuck. But yeah, there was a girl who posted something. I think she took a Snapchat and then saved that Snapchat and then sent it to the huge comic book Phoenix Comic Con group. Somebody finally dressed up as Squirrel Girl. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. But it's such a rare character. Like, I'm sure as soon as she gets more like a movie, it's the same thing with a movie. Like the Harley Quinn stuff. Like, not too many people knew who Harley Quinn was. The movie comes out, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a bunch of those costumes this year at Halloween. I have no problem with it and stuff like that, but there's that weird kind of thing with me where I'm like, I know so many characters and I know backstories, and right off the bat you want to talk to, like, oh, Harley Quinn, awesome, but they're like, I don't know anything. and it happens, and that's fine and stuff like that. But it was kind of cool that some people actually picked out like Jessica Jones. I have not seen that yet.
Oh, you should watch this on Netflix.
Not the.
Ha ha! Gotcha. You just got Renfro'd.
Matthew. No, I haven't seen anybody cosplay as them.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty interesting and fun. But yeah, so I think Matt Hines and Jen Hines are going to come back on the show probably maybe sometime in November. I know they said they were really busy with everything that was going on with the Fan Fest and stuff like that. And speaking of other returning guests on the show, I need to plug actually Benjamin. We've had him on the show a few times and stuff like that, but he is actually doing a thing at Samurai Comics this weekend. So if you're in the Phoenix, Arizona area and you want to check this out, he's doing a Halloween Comic Fest that's going on. Go ahead down to Samurai Comics Phoenix. Just go ahead and type in Samurai Comics on your Google. You'll be able to find it. Saturday, October 29th, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. He's selling some of his horror prints, $10 each, one day only. And he's got some really cool ones. There's like a Beetlejuice he's did. There's, of course, the Army of My Little Dark... wow, I really fucked that up.
The Army of My Little Darkness?
Yeah, the Army of My Little Darkness.
My Little Darkness,
My Little Darkness, I can't see. Here's a chain fly in the face. $1 million if we were actually could say. But yeah, he has that. He also has like some of the old horror classic monsters hanging around the poker table and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead, check that out. Go to Samurai Comics. He did not pay me for this ad. I just really enjoy his artwork, and I highly think if you're getting stuff for Halloween, go ahead and check that out. I just want to give some plugs while we're doing all that jazz. I'm trying to think what else. Shows. Yeah, all of that I've been keeping up on is DCW shows. I think, of course, HBO with Westworld has been very intriguing. And, Walking Dead. Do we want to jump into The Walking Dead?
Sure.
All right, so Walking Dead. I missed a bunch of episodes from last season, so I knew this was coming. I've read the comics. I already knew who died in the comics. I did like what the TV series did. Yeah. Because it was a very cool twist. Because everyone was thinking, spoiler alerts, if you have not seen Walking Dead, stop listening now, leave, I apologize. But yeah, spoilers. I did not think they were going to do 2 deaths. And I thought that was very cool of them. So very gruesome though. And apparently there's been deleted scenes where even Maggie was one of the victims.
I heard that there was like alternate endings that they recorded, but this Nigel is his name? Negan. This guy's a little crazy. This is a crazy character. I like it. And Lucille, his bat, is an intimidating weapon that he uses. He really, really fucked with Rick this episode. Rick got broken down physically, psychologically, and shit.
Yeah, I think Rick is finally realizing it. Like, it's weird because Rick has been like kind of like this like badass. You know, he's been a guy who's keep the group together. He's very focused, and then now he's come up against a force that he has no idea what he's doing. Like, and he just realizes how fucking like kind of useless he is right now. Like, he can't do anything. Like, he had his kind of speech where he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and right off the bat,
might not be tomorrow or the next day.
But I will kill you. And Negan's all like, let's take a ride. Like, and what I think is so funny with the actor who plays Negan, I'm blanking on his name, and everyone can yell at me later and stuff like that. But of course, he's been in a shit ton of stuff. He was in Greg's Anatomy.
Yeah, he played Denny.
He get killed off. He's in Supernatural. Plays the Winchester's dad. Gets killed off. He's even fucking the comedian in Watchmen. Gets killed off. Then he's also in Batman v Superman as Thomas Wayne. Gets killed off. This is a character that you want to die now in The Walking Dead. Like, you just want someone to murder his fucking face. But I have a feeling he's going to be around for a while. And how he's playing this character and what he's doing, I really enjoy this actor's work, and I think he's fucking fantastic.
His name is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens. He's pretty crazy, man.
I like him.
He plays Negan good. Negan's a crazy character.
Well, did you hear? So there was a story that came out, and apparently his manager and his agent called him, and they were like, "Hey, The Walking Dead has this part for you, and they'd like you to play it. It's going to be like this bad kind of guy and stuff like that. And he's all like, he's like, it's Negan. They're like, well, we're not sure because we're not allowed to disclose the name yet and stuff like that. He's like, we'll go ahead and call them back real quick and we'll get back. He goes, no. Fuck you. It's Negan. I'll take it. And so he already knew the character he was going to be playing.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be kind of fun. I think it's going to finally Eric is right on the ball tonight with everything. He's like popping up on the chat room and stuff. I'm glad I actually have the chat room open so I can actually pay attention. But yeah, no, he's doing a fantastic job, and I'm kind of curious where he's going to take this character and how, because this is the first time this is a character like that kind of has the upper hand finally.
Well, the governor had the upper hand for a little bit.
He did, but he fucked up.
Yeah,
like Negan seems like the kind of guy who he knows everything. Like he literally came out with Rick. He's like, hey, you killed a couple of my people. I think it's time to even the odds.
Yeah.
Like he literally was like, I want you guys to work for me, but then you went ahead and you fucked up. So I got to put you guys in your place.
Yeah.
Got to lose a couple of your members because I lost a couple of my members, and there's pretty much open, there's basically openings now in my little area and stuff like that. So it's gonna be very interesting. Of course, this is gonna suck because of course this is gonna happen up until December, and then we're gonna get that mid-season break.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I'm trying to. It sucks right though because I have to watch it from my phone.
Oh, that's bumsky.
Or my computer because I don't have there's no fucking AMC app for whatever reason. So it's since I don't have cable, but at least it gives me something to watch at work, which is kind of nice. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with this. So how much you want to bet next year Halloween? A lot of people are going to be cosplaying as him.
There may be people doing it this year. To be honest, I mean,
well, I did see at FanFest there was a few people.
Kate Nash, who is one of my really. I love her as an artist and stuff like that. Well, The Walking Dead, and she's a huge Walking Dead fan. The show actually sent her a replica of Lucille's bat. So,
oh, really?
So she's got like the bat and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
She was pretty fucking stoked about that. So, definitely next year probably, but maybe this year too.
Well, yeah, definitely for Phoenix Comic Con this year during the summer because the season will end before Mother's Day or something like that. And people would be doing that. I did see a few people. I mean, I'm actually excited because for my loot crate, I did get a little, slugger, and it has Negan on it. And I was like, oh, this is just perfect. So I'm excited about that. And I know Annabelle, a good friend of the show, she was wearing that shirt. Someone lent it out to her, so she was wearing that, which I thought was kind of funny. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one because it's kind of cool to see kind of, as much as I like Rick and everything like that, but it is kind of nice to see him kind of taken down. Kind of taken down a couple of notches and be like, okay. And then I'm also kind of curious of like, okay, well, how are you guys going to get the fuck out of here? So there's a lot of stuff in the comics, and I don't know if I want to talk about it. I'm pretty sure Kyle and I will talk about it. So if you're a huge comic book fan, we'll definitely talk about the Walking Dead stuff, theories that we might think might happen. I don't know if they will happen. They have taken some stuff from the comics so far that is going to be happening a lot in this season. So we'll see what happens. But there is a bunch of things that do happen to these main characters that we're curious if they're going to play in with the series or they're going to go their own direction. So
okay, interesting.
But yeah, so of course every week we'll probably have an update of Walking Dead for you guys. We'll be back in this week of that, just like when we did Game of Thrones and everything like that, and definitely Westworld because Westworld has been very, very good. I freaking hate it. Okay, Steven, you better get here. I just really like that episode fucking ended. And I was like, no. Where's
the newest one?
Yeah, I was like, I want more.
Yeah.
What the no? Like, so it's really doing the Lost thing to me right now because Lost would do those fucking ends, and I was like, no.
Lost, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Westworld, highly recommend it. Freaking fantastic. So, speaking of Halloween and everything like that, do you have actually any plans for Halloween? If you actually go out to some parties, have a get-together, or do you actually sit at home and dish out the candy?
Well, Halloween's on a Monday this year,
yes.
So we normally go over to my aunt and uncle's house, and we get out the fire pit, and we sit out on the driveway and play music and pass out candy. And the last couple of years, my aunt's made homemade potato soup. And with like rolls and stuff, so we've rocked that. We'll see what happens on Monday because this October here in Phoenix has been warm.
Yeah,
it's been really warm this time around. So I don't know, but we're going over there to pass out candy.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I've been noticing that too. I'm kind of dreading Monday with my costume a little bit. Hopefully I did see some clouds coverage today on the way home from work. That was about 3:00, so I don't know if we might be getting some cooler weather. Hopefully, maybe this weekend, but
maybe
we'll find out. But yeah, so I don't have any plans. I don't have any kids come to my door. I've been here for 2 years now. Nothing. Of course, I don't have any
carving
decorations.
Pumpkins tomorrow.
Ooh, do you have you doing a kit or are you doing your own thing?
I don't know. I'll figure out when I get it. I mean, we've got the pumpkins, but maybe I'll just do a avant-garde piece. Whatever the fuck I feel.
Very cool. Very cool.
Last year I did an owl, I think. Year before that, I think I just did like a standard jack-o'-lantern. I don't go too crazy.
No, I wasn't sure because I know some people buy those kits
Right.
and like try to map it out. One of my exes did that all the time. Like, thing I really kind of like I would like doing it if I was doing it with somebody who was, I guess, fun. I don't. That's why I'm not mentioning names or anything like that, and I don't really care because she probably doesn't listen to this shit anyways. But like I used to love going to like pumpkin patches, like driving all the way out there, having a day of it, having fun and stuff like that. And it's like I only did that once with her, and it was a blast. And then it just became like this chore afterwards of not going there anymore, of just picking up the pumpkin at the thing. And like honestly, like pumpkin carving, if people get joy out of it, they like doing it, it's fun, awesome. It's really not for me. I don't like doing it. I don't like designing shit. I don't like finding things and making a pumpkin stuff like that. Because to me, I'm like, it's just something I have to throw out again. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, but she would make a big fucking deal about it and like always get on my case with it. I'm like, look, I like Halloween. I like dressing up. I like decorating stuff. I like creepy, spooky things. I just don't like pumpkins. I'm like, I would be fine just buying like a crappy piece of shit, plastic pumpkin, and you just put a light in it and be like, here, and stuff. Because I'm like, it's just a thing that I have to, because I'm like, I have to throw it out. I know you're not going to throw it out. I have to throw it out. Never once have you ever gone, I'm taking the pumpkin to throw out. You'd be like, hey, that pumpkin I made you go buy and then carve and then let it sit out too long. You have to throw it out now. I'm like, why is it my responsibility? I didn't want the damn thing in the first place.
So what are you gonna carve this year?
Nothing. I'm gonna carve you a freaking
Jesus, dude. Fucking laying it out there. Steve does not like carving pumpkins.
I don't.
If you want to get him a present, give him a fucking plastic pumpkin.
Matthew, you're gonna regret this. I'm gonna find a pumpkin, and I'm gonna make this clown spider pumpkin. Just leave it on your doorstep.
Go for it, dude. So fucking pick it up, and I'll throw it in the trash because I have no problem walking in the trash.
Hoisted on my own guitar.
Ah, jeez.
Matthew's like, I'll take out the trash every day.
No, yeah, so we're doing that. We used to do that. Growing up, my family, we would go up to the pumpkin patch and we pick out our pumpkins and do all that. And then the tradition, obviously shit happens with families. It died off. And then every now and then, I don't carve every year. I mean, the last couple of years has been consistent, but
it's weird because there used to be a place called, I think it was called Shep's Farm.
Schnepp Farm? Yeah, that's over, that's like East Valley.
Okay, is it still there?
It's still there.
Okay, because that's where we used to go.
We used to go up to Young's Farm, which is on the way up to Prescott or Payson.
I think that's the one that I went to. Yeah. That's the latest. I mean, I wouldn't mind going back and doing the pumpkin farm stuff because I think it's fun, but I don't know. I guess it's just because I live in an apartment and I can't really do too much like spookiness and things like that. Like I've actually been telling people if you have like cool decorations or really spice up your house, go ahead and like tweet it over to @BHorrorcast. We'll go ahead and put them on the Facebook page and we'll tag you guys in it and stuff like that because we really thought that would be kind of a cool thing. Because I heard a guy at work, he was talking about all the stuff they were going to put out. And I was like, dude, that's fucking tight. But he's a huge, huge horror fan too, which I think is hilarious. And he loves Chucky, which is so weird.
Interesting.
Which is so weird on that one. But, yeah, I'm just trying to think of, I don't think I have it. I don't know if any parties are going on. I know I have to pick up a few miscellaneous items for my costume.
Yeah.
I'll show
What are you dressing up as?
I'm not telling you. I'm not letting, you already know, but the viewers won't know until Monday or this weekend if I go to a party or whatnot. But I've been trying to keep it under wraps because everyone's been telling all their costumes and stuff. Yeah. And I'm kind of getting excited because I haven't heard my costume mentioned yet at work, so I don't think anyone's doing it yet, nice. And I'm just like, I'm going to have a field day.
You have to get brown pants for it?
Yeah, brown pants.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
okay, fine. It's a brown pants, lab coat, blue shirt. You guys try to put the pieces together.
You're a scientist?
Close.
What?
You have no idea who it is. Really?
Brown pants,
blue shirt,
and a lab coat?
Lab coat, and a flask.
Brown pants, blue shirt, a lab coat, and a flask.
Yeah, and I have a blue wig with spiky hair.
Blue wig with spiky hair.
Yeah.
Huh. Brown pants. Blue shirt. Lab coat. Blue spiky hair. And a flask.
I will put it this way. Anyone who's listening live wants to go ahead and tweet us. If you know the character I just described, kudos to you.
What show is it from?
Rick and Morty.
Oh, I don't fucking watch Rick and Morty.
You should watch Rick and Morty.
Fucking no, Rick and Morty, stupid ass motherfucker. JK.
I think next year we should all go as the kids from Stranger Things.
I thought you were gonna say. I'd be. Who would you dress up as?
I'd probably have to be the. I either have to be Will, because I probably wouldn't get invited to parties, so everyone could just be like, "Oh, Steve's here. He's just in the Upside Down," or, or I'd probably have to. I don't know who the other kid is. The like Will's friend, the dungeon master guy.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
I'd probably want to be Dustin.
Yeah, I kind of figured he'd be Dustin.
But people probably want to fucking stereotype me to be Lucas.
Why?
Just because we have similar facial features.
Oh, I thought it was because you just don't like the number 11.
15's my favorite number. Dustin's my dude, though.
No, Dustin's pretty fucking tight.
I could be Barb.
Yeah, Eric says like something from that Rick and something show. Yeah, question mark.
Rick and something.
Rick and something coming to ABC.
Well, you know, so I set up the voicemail.
Yes.
And I sent out a little post on the social medias asking for any spooky Halloween stories.
Yes.
And we got some voicemails, man.
So do we want to...
I say we go ahead and do it, since once Steve gets here, I know we have some stuff planned with him.
Yeah, we do. We do have a couple of games coming up that I'm really excited about. But yeah, let's. And again, if you guys want to call in, you can still call in. We can play your voicemails, but we'll play a few of them that have hit the voicemail box. So if you guys have any creepy, cool stories, go ahead and call our number. Matthew might have it on hand. I know I don't.
Steve, you got to learn this number. 480-788-2554.
So there you go. So Matthew, let's go with some of our listeners' calls.
Absolutely. So again, it was.
I'm going to make a sound drop.
Any scary, spooky stories. So we got 3 of them. So we'll go ahead and play them.
All right.
Hello, friends. It's your buddy Nick here. I wanted to tell you about a paranormal encounter that I had back when I was in summer camp as a kid. So, as what happens many times, you tell ghost stories and yada, 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 spooky stuff happens. Well, our camp counselor had actually told us about a paranormal encounter that happened to his girlfriend, and it involved what a spirit that the Native Americans refer to as a skinwalker.
Oh, shit,
and he'd also mentioned that non-Native Americans aren't supposed to know about skinwalkers, and when skinwalkers find out that people talk about them, they go after the person that mentioned them. And this is the first time I'd ever heard of them, and it scared me shitless, basically. Hopefully you don't have to bleep that. I can't remember if you can cuss on the show. But anyway, so we go through, and he tells us this stuff, and he tells us about this encounter that his girlfriend had after she had first heard about skinwalkers. And by the time all the scary stories are up, we go to bed, and full moon out, of course, as it's supposed to be. I don't really think anything of it. You know, scary stories don't really do much for me. But we go to bed, and maybe 10 minutes later, I wake up, and there is someone standing over my bunk. And not just over my bunk, but the counselor actually slept in the bunk above me. So there is a man standing, staring at my camp counselor over my bunk and staring at him. So I freak out. This is the most scared I've ever been in my entire life. I pull the covers up over my head, and if you've ever been this scared, well, I can describe the feeling. Basically, your body goes cold, and you can feel every vein and capillary in your body pumping the blood through. It is such a creepy, creepy feeling. So I'm sitting there for maybe like 10 minutes, and I'm like, hey, I can't just like sit here and wait for this thing to kill us. I've got to make something happen. So this little kid camper of me gets the balls to pull the covers down out from over my head, and I reach out and I grab the man. And it wasn't a man at all. It was a jacket. I was afraid of a jacket that was hanging over the edge of the bunk bed. I thought for sure a skinwalker was coming to get my camp counselor. So that was a little paranormal encounter that I had. I fell asleep quickly after that as all the adrenaline wore off and just knocked me right out. But anyway, happy Halloween, everyone, and look forward to hearing the show. Bye.
That was
a good story.
That was a good story. Speaking of skinwalkers, I think I ran into one, and I have a fucking gnat in my freaking studio. There was a story back in high school where we went to the Indian reservation, and there was one night where I was with a buddy of mine, Scott, and we're sitting there and we're doing our we're just like hanging out or whatnot in this little area that we would go to, and all of a sudden like we look over and there's just like this dude standing like in this ravine. Long, scraggly hair, shirtless, just kind of standing there. So Scott's like, hey, Steve, come over here. I'm like, what? What's going on? And then, like, I go over to him, and he's like, you see that? And I'm like, yeah, is that some dude just, like, standing there or whatnot? And he's like, yeah. So we're sitting there for a little bit. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? He's like, all right. He's like, here's my keys. Head back to the car. It was, like, me and, like, two other guys. And he's like, you guys head back to the car. Get it started. I'm like, what the hell are you guys going to do? Apparently they found like some stuff like to kind of be like, hey, get the hell out of here kind of thing. And they said this guy kind of like took off, and when he was running, they noticed not only was he like shirtless but barefoot. And this guy just kind of ran into like all these cacti and then just kind of vanished. And then they came back to the car and told us about it. We're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then when we started talking to like other people who knew about the reservation, they were like, oh yeah, that was probably a skinwalker. And we're like, what? Like we had never heard of this thing in our entire life. And then I started researching about it and realizing like they can take the form of all these things. It's almost like it's kind of like their version of like a warlock or a witch in the Native American kind of culture and stuff. But we were just like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, honestly, it could have been like, I tried to debunk everything before I realized, oh, this was who it was. I mean, honestly, it could have just been a drunk guy, like, out on the reservation or whatnot. But like, we have no idea. Because it was just like the weirdest thing where it was just kind of like vanished. So
that's kind of creepy.
I thought that was kind of cool that like
similar,
kind of like another person found like a skinwalker and stuff like that. So
I like Nick, and Nick's a friend of the show. He's been on Socially Awkward, and he's a good dude. So I think it's funny how your mind can play tricks on you.
Yes.
Like, so he hears about it. He wakes up. He's sleepy. He's groggy, and he thinks the jacket is the skinwalker. But it's cool to know that he got the bravery to like he encouraged himself to reach out and grab this thing. Like, how many little kids would do that? And then it was a jacket. Which we do. Good story.
Like, do you have any kind of stories like that where you kind of get up the courage to something, and then when you realize what it was, you're like,
I mean, there's been things that have happened. Like, I thought somebody broke into my house one time. And Megan and I were sleeping, and I have a bat that I sleep to I have a bat that I keep next to my bed, and just blindly, like, I didn't put my glasses or anything on. I just walked out to this dark room holding this bat, thinking I was gonna go kick some ass.
Yeah.
And it was really like something fell off the wall or some bullshit like that. But or no, actually, what it was
is that the shelving?
No,
okay.
we had hooks that were suctioned on the bathroom tile holding our loofahs.
Yes.
And one of them came off and fell.
Yeah.
And I was in a dead sleep, heard it. I was like, somebody's in my fucking house. I grabbed the bat, walk out into a dark room, standing there like I can't see shit. And I could come back to bed, but I'm sure there's been other things.
There's a good one like that. It's again back in high school, buddy Scott. Again, we're driving around just like on a Friday night because we didn't do anything like kind of like go to parties or hang out really too much. We're driving around. We're over by the Indian Reservation on Pecos Road, and like so we're a lot of people. If you're in the Arizona area, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, so Pecos Road, literally there was a road. in Ahwatukee, and then like literally on one side is pretty much like us, and on the other side is the Indian reservation.
Yeah.
So on the Indian reservation, we just see this kind of like thing balled up, like it literally looked like a body bag, and you drove past it once, not thinking anything about it, and then we circled back around, and Scott's like, "What is that?" Like kind of thing. So he literally parks the car like far away, has the headlights on it, and we're kind of looking at this thing going like, well, it's not moving. It looks like a body. It literally looked like a body bag. And we're like, okay. And then like he starts like throwing like stuff. He's like, what? We haven't seen a friend of ours for like some time. Maybe it's them or whatnot. I'm like, no, it's okay. First off, it's not that. I'm like, it could be a body, but we don't know. So it's like he hands me like a pipe. He has a pipe, and he's like, all right, we're gonna walk over. And it's like that tension's like building. So you can you're slowly walking, your heart's pounding, racing. He's like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're like about maybe 10 feet away from it now. Still looks like a body bag. He's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. He's like, I'm going to walk over. I'm going to grab. You get on this side. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to pull it open. As soon as I pull it open, you just, whatever happens, just start going. So we're walking. We're creeping. Tension's raising. We're looking at each other like, okay, this is happening. This is happening. He grabs it and goes, oh. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, what is it? Is it a body? Is it? He's like, no, this is like a half deflated waterbed. That's so
nice. You're about to beat the shit out of
So you're literally just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
It's just like all that, and then you have like all this adrenaline that you have no idea what to do with. You're like, oh, we want to run a race? Like, What are we doing? So like, I've always had those kind of moments where you're like, something's gonna happen, something's gonna be creepy. So, do you have another one for us? You want to play?
Yeah, we got a couple more. So
all right,
we'll go ahead and play the next one.
All right.
This is David Targart. Around the world and home again, that's the sailor way. Faster, 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 faster. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a speck of light is showing. All the fires of hell are glowing. For the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
Wow, that was pretty creepy. Yeah, Eric just said, he goes, wait, is this from Willy Wonka? I believe it is, but I did like the fact that someone actually, people are calling in and leaving voicemails and stuff like that. So again, if you guys want to call in, because I know we'll probably be taking a break after this next little voicemail that we'll be hitting, but if you want to go ahead and call us during the break and everything like that, again, the number is 480-788-2554. Go ahead and leave us either a creepy message, a cool ghost story, or whatnot. I'm pretty sure a couple of mine will come out during this podcast as well. But Matthew, I almost said Eric because Eric just commented. He's like, "Is that Willy Wonka?"
Yeah, it was.
It was. I thought it was pretty good. Yes,
yeah.
One. Even Aaron was like, "Easy to go." So we got how many more do we have?
What? Just one more.
We just have one more. So what we want to do, we're going to play this one. And then we'll come back, talk a little bit, and then we'll probably hit us with some Fro Show delightness, and then we'll be back after the break. So
cool.
Without further ado, Matthew, play that message.
Hey, what's up, guys? Don't have a spooky story for you other than the terrifying story of a guy who used to be on a podcast and had to move across the damn country and stop doing the show. And terrifying, really. It's so scary. No, hey, what's up, guys? It's Eric. I figure I'd just say hi to everybody, see what's up, and let everybody know I'm still alive, sort of, anyways. But, yeah, no, I miss you guys. I miss everything about doing the show and everything, and hopefully I can bring a little bit back with these messages and stuff. Maybe I'll try to do this each week if I can, call in and say something. But anyway, back to your spooky ghost stories.
Speaking of which,
yes, dude.
I teased this a little bit on not on the Be Horrorcast, but Eric, actually, there is a huge thing that's going to be hitting us next year during our Halloween special. I want to do a murder mystery.
Fuck your couch.
So a murder mystery. So I'm gonna be putting out. Fuck you, sound sad. Yeah, you do, kind of, buddy. Well, I was going to say, we're doing a murder mystery, but I'm thinking I'm going to have you Skype in during when we do that show. And you're probably going to be, you'll have either a character or it'll be a narrator, but you will be a part of the story that I'm probably going to be co-writing. I have to see if Steven is going to be able to help me with this because I have actually no idea what I'm doing. I finally put together one big thing tonight, that a game that we're going to play. So we'll see how that goes over and see if my writing skills has any kind of chance of doing anything. But yeah, next year we're going to be getting a couple of people on the show to do this murder mystery. So that's going to be kind of cool. So yes, Eric, you do have a part. And anybody else on the network that would like to chime in or want to be a part of it as well, we can do like little sound bits, sound recordings, little things that we can tie into the show. So I want to make it a huge mass production kind of thing for next year's Halloween episode. So these are big things that we try to want to do and stuff like that. But yes, Eric, we do miss you. But before we go to our break, of course, this episode of The Fro Show is brought to you by Revenge Lover Designs, illustrates and designs that fit your personalities. For samples and inquiries, please visit revengelover.com. Now, Matthew.
No, I'm not done yet, dude.
Oh, you're not done with what?
No.
I was going to ask you about any new music that came out this week or any music that you're excited for before you actually load up the show, because you have a little bit of a spiel before you dive into the Fro Show. But if you need some little time, you want me to plug some other stuff, I can plug. No, you're
just
good.
Not ready to go yet. We got another story.
Matthew, it's
dude.
okay, because when you're not ready to go, you know where you can go? You can go to the Socially Awkward Facebook page, give us a like, and you click on that Shop Now, Sign Up button, and boom, brings you this thing called Nerd Block, one of our proud sponsors on the 4i Radio Network. You go to Nerd Block, you do this little subscription block feed, boom, you click on it, boom, next thing you know, you get a birthday present, Christmas present, Hanukkah present, any kind of present you can think of every month, and you get this cool box of swag of a theme they're doing. You get a t-shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now we talked about. I'm wearing my Simpsons Treehouse of Horror t-shirt right now. So, I mean, there's so much cool stuff you get from Nerd Block. So go to any one of our Facebook page, click on that Shop Now, Sign Up button, boom, brings you right to the Nerd Block that you want. And who's going to know? Steve-O knows. Also brought to you by Depends. Old people's got to shit, and they got to shit somewhere. I don't know what Matthew's doing. Actually, while Matthew's doing that, I'm going to regale you guys of a ghost story that happened to me. So, are you ready now?
Go for it.
Oh.
Tell your story.
Matthew just had this look of like, no, I'm ready now. So I don't know if I talked about any of this kind of stuff on the any podcast or even the B-Horrorcast and stuff like that, but back in the day when my grandmother passed away, she was going through some medical stuff and things like that. She was in and out of the hospital, and of course we live across. She was living in Florida at the time. We were still in Arizona, and I remember the day I woke up, walked downstairs, and before my parents could even say anything about the news with Grandma or whatnot, I was all like, oh, Grandma passed, and they both looked at me with these eyes of like, wait, how did you know this? And I was like, oh, she visited me last night. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Steve, this is bullshit. No one believes you. Whether or not you want to believe it or not, but I remember, yes, waking up in the middle of the night and seeing a shadowy figure in my windowsill. And before I know it, I was having a conversation with my deceased grandmother at that time. And she was just letting us know that she's moving on to a better place. You guys are doing well. Don't worry about me. Everything's going to be fine, and all that kind of stuff. And just the shock that I came downstairs. I think it was like probably 9th grade, maybe high school. And literally everyone took the day off from school, like my siblings and stuff. And for whatever reason, I was like, no, I can go to school. I'm good. I guess because I got that message, which was just very weird because I was never, like, I knew my grandma, but my sister was very close with my grandma. But I think I have this little thing like my mom does where you can kind of sense things or they can communicate with you, because I know when her mother passed, she actually would get phone calls, and the phone calls would be like just dead silence or whatnot. My mom finally said, hey, we're doing fine. Everything's good. You don't need to worry about that. And then the phone call stopped. So I do believe in this kind of stuff. I am very Fox Mulder where I want to believe. I do try to find the big... Yeah, but yeah, I remember that coming out with my grandmother and stuff like that, just had this just kind of decent conversation. I was very calm and just very easy. I think I've just grown up with that kind of stuff. I've seen so much like weird, like crazy shit that I can't explain, but I just accept it. So, I mean, take it for what it is. But, yeah, I mean, sometimes you either have that connection with the other world and helping people to pass over. And that's really what it's all about, is a lot of times these things don't know that they're dead or they do know they're dead, and they just want to kind of relay a message. And hopefully it's not something that horribly happened to them, because usually they try to take it out with violence is the only kind of energy they can grasp at that point. But yeah, so that was a little bit of one of my creepy stories. I have a shit ton of them. But Matthew, are you ready to drop us with some music?
No, dude, we have another story.
Oh, we do have another story.
Yeah.
What's the next story?
I've been playing.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, wait, are you on?
You guys
There
said you
it
needed a true.
And we're mute. Oh, my bad.
That was your bad, dude.
Yeah, I'm fucking up tonight. So.
That was your bad, dude.
No, you know what? I am not fucking up tonight. It's the spirit.
All right,
so,
here we
you
go.
should be good now.
Healing frequencies open. Hi, Steve and Matt. This is Aaron from the Starfleet Escape podcast. You guys say you needed a true scary story, so here's a story of an alien abduction, possibly. So, I was about, I would say, in kindergarten or first grade, and I woke up. I was floating. I appeared to have just come through the wall in my bedroom, and I floated a few feet. I then turned 90 degrees and floated down into my bed. Then this happened several times. I don't remember how many times it happened. After that happened, I was petrified. So I would just lay in bed until I saw the kitchen light go on, and I knew my mother was up, so it was safe to get up. I didn't tell anyone about this when it happened. It happened several more times, and then one night, as I woke up floating, I got the courage to look down. So I looked over to my right, and in the doorway, I saw 2 or 3, maybe 4 little creatures, what you would call a gray alien. At the time, I didn't know what it was. It looked like, at the time, I must have seen Beetlejuice, the movie, and they looked like the guy that was going to marry Beetlejuice and I think Lydia, maybe, whoever Winona Ryder played. They were going to marry them, so kind of, that classic gray alien that you see. So I was scared out of my mind. Didn't scream or anything. I looked, saw them, then I looked back up at the ceiling, then I continued like usual to float and then take that 90-degree turn and lay down, or float down into my bed. Then the light came on. I don't know how much time had passed, but then the light went on in the kitchen, and once again I knew it was safe to get up. After that, it never happened again. So, was it really an alien abduction, or was it just a figment of my imagination, a dream? I don't know. But it was definitely scary to a first grader or kindergartner. Yeah, so I was like 5 or 6 years old when that happened. It freaked me out. And yeah, so that's my scary story. Catch you guys later. Live long and prosper.
Aaron,
Yes.
thank you. Aaron, thank you for hitting that. I know exactly what you're talking about. That little midget guy who's doing like the eulogy for not the eulogy. Yeah, the eulogy at their wedding. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe it was a eulogy because it is death and everything like that. No, that's very interesting. I always the biggest thing I would have to ask, you probably might not remember. Because obviously when you said like a first grader, very young, usually when an alien abduction happens, of course, yes, I know all this shit. This is why Eric probably left the show. He's like, fucking Steven, stupid theories. No, usually there's a loss of time that you can't account for. Missing time. is really big with alien abductions and stuff like that. So it could possibly happen, especially if it happened a couple of times. I will have to say this. So I'm very proud of everybody who's been calling in and stuff like that. If you guys have actual like stories, and this goes out to anybody, if you want to write in, like we can read these off of the podcast that I do, Not Another B Horrorcast. We do have an email address. We do have Facebook and stuff like that. So if you do want to like give us some of your creepy stories and not just wait for Socially Awkward's Halloween special, I have no problem reading those off. I always would be enthralled and thrilled to have these cool listener stories. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for hitting us up right now and stuff like that. But of course, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, hopefully Steven's back with us. And also, of course, hopefully maybe you guys will call in during the break. And again, that number is going to be... I don't memorize this right now. I got to wait for it. It's 480-788-2554. I know, this show is very badly done. You can all just blame the showrunner, Steve. This is what happened. See, there's Steve Moffat from Doctor Who just fantastic. Then there's Steve Mooney where they're like, fuck me. So when Steve Mooney's your showrunner, we're fucked. But Matthew, go ahead and lay down some cool tracks. Do you have any new music that came out that you'd like to talk about? Or just dive right into the music.
Yeah, so Empire of the Sun came out with the third album today. It's called Two Vines, which I'm really excited about. Definitely going to be checking that out. And the Stranger Things Volume 1 vinyl came out today, which I'm intrigued about. So I will probably be picking that up this weekend because it's a great, original soundtrack. And yeah, I don't know. That's about it. Those are the two big ones in my book that came out today. So
very cool. But of course, you guys will be back after the break with hopefully some more cool voicemails from you guys and all the other cool stuff for our Spooktacular.
We're gonna grab beers. I'm thirsty.
That too.
How I give up everything for what I love to do. your silhouette, except to say anything. This place is a mess, you think buy you another drink, anything you want. Something that you lose your friends back to my place. I don't wanna talk, I want everything. Driving me home, or you're driving me home. Street lights in the corner my eyes. I'm in the shape to drive. You find. Say anything. Get us out of the parking lot. Swerving behind the cars on the road. I got everything you want. Like secrets to harm. I got memories to block. I got the gun to blow everything. Driving me home. Are you driving me home? I will be the razor, baby. I will be the bell. I am the ambulance that never comes. The antidote you spill. And in the accident, I'll be the failure in your brakes. I am the truth you couldn't take. I am the mistake what you ever made. Your doubts follow you through the door. What do you do with more and more? Feel anything. Each night it's someone else. Time you can tell yourself. You can tell yourself anything you want. Hold up and you climb the stairs. Tensions are very real. I don't wanna talk, I want everything. Driving me home, are you driving me home? I will be the razor, baby. I will be the bell. I am the ambulance that never comes. The antidote you spill. And in the accident, I'll be the failure in your brakes. I am the truth you couldn't take. I am the mistake what you ever made. I will be the razor, baby. I will be the pill. I'm the ambulance that never comes. The antidote you spill. And in the accident, I'll be the failure in your brakes. I'm the truth you couldn't take. I'm the mistake. I will be the razor, baby. I will be the pill. I am the ambulance that never comes. The antidote you spill. And in the accident, I'll be the failure in your brakes. I am the truth you couldn't take. I am the mistake what you ever made. skin, and I felt the weight within reveal a bigger mess that you can't fix.
I wanted to tell you, I wanted to share some important details that you're unaware of. I want you to listen, I want you to care. I'll choke to death if I don't clear the air. It's not a secret that I obsess, and then I get angry, and then I get stressed. And you can't imagine, and you can't compare. You've no frame of reference, and then you get scared. I'm doing my best to help make you see that it's not your fault when I beg and I plead. It's much easier just to go back to sleep, but we gotta find a place to start because I'm falling apart.
And we are back. I want to thank you all for hanging out after the break and everything like that. So we're just probably going to touch upon a little few things. It looks like Steven might have hit a little snag, so we'll probably have him on next time, which will debut my brand new game. And also Steven will have a speed round from Matthew and I, so that'll be kind of cool. But yeah, so I think we're going to talk about Westworld.
Westworld, HBO.
Yeah, so Steven, I remember that it's a Michael Crichton book. It's also a movie that came out a while ago, which is so weird because like one of the weird robots, the rogue robot in that movie, is actually played by the guy who was in The King and I, which is so weird to see him in like that role of just like
Ed Harris?
No, fucking Ed Harris though in that show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll dive into that. So Steven,
who are you talking about?
I don't know the actor's name. He's not in the series right now. It's in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
The movie, the King and I, and then it was the guy who played the king was the basically one of the androids.
Gotcha.
In Westworld. So Steven touched upon it a little bit in and how he described it was very perfect. But he touched upon it in the one episode he was on. So, but Matthew wasn't here. But then we started watching it now, so we're both caught up. Like we said, the little teasers. It's definitely like Lost, where it ends. You're like, okay, what the hell's going on? So I think we're like 4 episodes in right now.
Yeah, 5th episode will be this Sunday.
This Sunday. So if you guys have not watched Westworld, you don't have HBO Go and stuff like that. If you don't care, then go ahead and listen. If you do care, there will be probably some spoilers. But yeah, definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. I really like where this series is going. But like you just said, yeah, that one guy is fucking nuts. But yeah, how Steven described it, basically, it's kind of like a video game. You come in like Skyrim. Was his example, walking through the town, and right off the bat they're like, oh, hey, you want to go out? Well, here's a bounty for, such and such, and that's like a quest.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because like how they say is like every quest has like all this stuff. And speaking of quests, just like in this latest episode, the woman's like, oh shit, you found one of the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
So let's start. So okay, who do you like on the show so far? And
everybody.
Everybody. Okay.
I mean, the show's great. I mean, Dolores is like by far. I'm most intrigued by her. I think Evan Rachel Wood does an amazing job acting as Dolores. Ed Harris's character is really intriguing. I want to know more about his storyline. Because obviously, like what we had talked about previously on the show, is panning out to be that way. He's seriously going to a deeper part of the game, and they're setting it up for him, and he's actually doing it. So
yeah, that's
crazy.
That's actually what I thought was really cool, especially in this episode. So you didn't know too much, a little bit about him, and you're slowly finding pieces of him, especially in this latest episode, episode 4. They dropped like a thing with him where like one of the other like vacationers, I should say, comes over to him and be like, hey, I just want to thank you for all the stuff you could do. Like he's like trying to like thank this guy, and right off the bat he's like, fuck you, I'm on vacation.
Right.
Like kind of thing. And there's been little tidbits of things of like he's doing stuff and other people in like their hub, I guess, watching the game play out or the vacation play out. I'm not really sure how to describe it yet. But they're like, oh no, this guy's a huge contributor. He can do whatever he kind of wants, kind of thing. So it's very curious because he says he's been doing this for like 30 years now. And it's like kind of cool. So you're kind of finding out his backstory a little bit of like what he's trying to do and like complete the game. So I do kind of like that aspect of it. So I thought that was really cool. They keep, because like I think in the third episode he wasn't even in it. Because like the first episode starts off with him, and I think the second episode is when he like kind of goes to like the kind of like the Mexico kind of area or whatnot, and gets a little bit more information. And then I don't think there was really much touched upon him in the third episode. And then this episode was kind of really big on him and whatnot, and other players in the game. Where I think we touched upon it a little bit where we said like Anthony Hopkins with the little boy, we think that was like his little representation of himself. So I'm still trying to figure out what his huge storyline is going with.
So they showed a chapel, or they showed a church in the most recent episode. And I believe that church is the church that is
buried.
Okay. And I think this is where they quote unquote christened the first androids of the park, because they show a scene where they're like dumping them in water, like they're it's like kicking it off, like, all right, you're part of us now, you're part of this, let's do it. And it was only quick little flashes, but I definitely saw them and I was like, interesting. So I think that's the church, and it's like buried.
Now that you mentioned that, I didn't even think of it because I forgot about the whole like
Toby
bad
just shut the
thing.
door.
Yeah, he does that. Of course, right when I'm about to get on a spiel. There's with the church being buried, but then it was a part where they were talking about his partner, and he's saying like he wanted to make them more real and stuff like that. But there's a part where they're like kind of dancing in that small town, and I think the church is in the back. So I'm kind of wondering if he's kind of like reimagining like the first kind of beginning of where Westworld started, and it's kind of like one of these things that have been buried almost, metaphorically and physically, and something maybe he wants to bring back, because like of course right now it's dealing with like storyline with this guy who kind of goes mad, called Earp.
Yep.
So and then they actually kind of made I don't know actors, and I keep forgetting. It's like Game of Thrones to me now, so I got to pick on little parts of what they are. So Cyclops from X-Men, his storyline has kind of been rewritten.
James Marsden.
Yeah, James Marsden.
Not James
Not
Marsden.
James. It's something Marsden. It's something Marsden now. Mr. Marsden.
No.
But yeah, so his story has kind of changed, and he's kind of doing his own like thing now. But they did find him. Wrapped up in a
James Marsden
wrapped up in a like a tree, like with the first beginning of that quest kind of going on. So it's kind of interesting. Okay, what's going on with this quest and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I'm really digging Westworld. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. I suggest people go out there and watch it. Figure out ways to do it. It's really, really good. And I'm insanely intrigued to see exactly where this season keeps on going and what they're going to set up, because you obviously know this is coming back for a season 2. I mean,
it better come back for a season 2.
So the way they set things up, I don't know.
Yeah, it does that. To me, I basically I said they took Deadwood, because the Western feel,
Okay.
and mixed and then threw it in a blender with Lost, and then just kind of and like, here you go. Like, it has this stuff where you're like, so it has science fiction, it has old timey, and it just has all these different like stories upon stories layered, all intertwined in this like, you're literally like watching it going, okay, like, where's this going? Like, what's the, like, everything always has like an end game. You know, like Walking Dead, obviously you're thinking their end game is like trying to find a cure, if there even is a cure, or something like that. So this one right now, it's like, okay, you have one guy basically trying to beat the game,
Right.
and then this new storyline that's coming in, and just like other people just figuring things out, because then you have this new robot, you know, basically not new robot, but a robot that's kind of going off the grid,
Right.
and no one's stopping it really. The one guy who knows that this robot's doing these things, he's just kind of like, let's see what happens, you know, kind of thing. So it's just very good.
Yeah, but then you have the madam at the brothel that's like gaining consciousness and like remembering
past memories, yeah.
Remembering past memories, and also present day memories, like, because she escaped, remember? And
Yes.
that's when she went and she saw that they were cleaning the androids from that day that were working, and they were in this big, like, not cloth, but fenced off enclosure.
Yeah.
And they were getting hosed down to get all their blood and shit off. And it's the guy that she interacts with on a daily basis.
Yes.
And she's like, what the fuck is this about? And now she has that memory that's always playing in
Now,
her head.
I should I probably do this out of the show, but I'm trying to, like, at the top of my head, that brothel girl. Oh yeah, and then the last episode with the safe. She was like, the thing that these bandits go after, like this played out storyline. These guys are supposed to get, one guy's supposed to get free, then he finds his posse again, and then he goes and robs this brothel and steals this safe. Now, we've seen him steal the safe at one point, and then everything got taken down, and then again it was going to happen, and then they were kind of just put all the robots on, kind of like like almost like a kill switch, where like their guns couldn't fire or something like that. But like, she right off the bat was like, whatever you're looking for in that safe, it's not in here.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of like, okay, what's in the safe? And okay, and then what exactly is this bandit, you know, is looking for? So, but her, she looks so fucking familiar, and I have no idea what she's from. And I know Matthew's probably gonna pull it up. I was gonna look it up after the show, but yeah, every time I kept seeing her, I'm like, what is she from? But yeah, no, it's got all these weird, crazy things that are going on. But it's kind of funny, because I'm kind of sitting there going like, I would love an MMO right now of like a Western game of, like, you know, kind of like a Red Dead Redemption, kind of like create your character, play out these kind of things. I mean, granted, with a video game you can, you know, die in. But
Tandy Newton.
Tandy Newton, what else has she been in?
She looks like she's been actually in quite a bit of stuff.
That's what.
She was on ER. This is all okay. Let's see. The Pursuit of Happiness. Mission Impossible. She was in 2012. Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay, that's where I saw it. Chronicles of Riddick.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. Yeah, I think she's one of the women who help him when he gets captured at some point.
She was in Crash.
Yeah, I didn't see Crash.
Okay.
No, wait, I did see Crash. That was with Topher Grace, Academy Award, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people.
Or am I thinking Traffic? I forget. There's two movies that came out that was like Traffic and Crash.
I know Jennifer Gardner's in Crash. Crash is a good movie. 2004.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think both of those movies, I think Traffic and Crash, were at the Oscars that year.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Jennifer Garner, Sandra Bullock. Don Cheadle.
Yes, Don Cheadle's
Tony
in that.
Danza. Matt Dillon.
So, but yeah, so highly recommend Westworld. Absolutely love it. Think it's great. But before, I think that's all I got. But I was about to say, before we close out the show, we're going to give you guys a little teaser of a new game show that's coming to the 4i Radio Network. I'm just excited because I think I might have to work on the sound drop, but it's going to be coming soon. So let's just play this.
It's time to play that wacky new game you kids can play at home, where the points don't matter and no one gives a crap. It's called Go Home, Netflix. You're drunk! And now, the host of the show, Steve
It's so meta, dude. You're introducing your own self.
I know, it's great. But yeah, so that hopefully next time when we usually start having guests on the show, this is a game I would like to put out to play and everything that. So this would be I know what people thinking like, okay, what is the game about? So we'll give you the little pretty much tutorial intro and stuff like that, and then we'll probably end the show. And then next time we have a guest on, we'll play this show definitely. So basically how to play is people will buzz in with their names. Once I read off the question. Here's an example question. So, transported to a surreal land, a young girl kills the first person she meets, and then teams up with 3 strangers to kill again.
Wizard of Oz.
There you go. So, Matthew, he would buzz in with his name.
Yeah.
He said Wizard of Oz. So, right off the bat, Matthew just scored 2 points.
Sick.
Now, if I say the synopsis and no one can get it, then I would read off of the multiple choice. But of course, if they get the question at that point, they only get 1 point. So it is kind of like one of those games, if somebody does know it, they could basically lead the game. So it's usually only 10 questions. Oh, you want to... Should I jump into the horror ones that I made?
Just give me another one.
I'll give you another one. All right. How about... I'm going to pull this one down. I thought this was pretty good because I had to write it myself. Okay, let's see. All right. A young teenage boy struggles with his own sexuality. Bullies and sleepless nights goes through the most horrifying transformation of his life. Moving to the house in the suburbs can be rough. And this is a horror film.
Kid struggles with his sexuality, moves to a new house in the suburbs, and what?
Okay, I'll read it again. A young teenage boy struggles with his own sexuality and is bullied and has sleepless nights. Goes through the most horrifying transformation of his life. Moving to a new house in the suburbs can be rough.
Teen Wolf.
No, do you want the multiple choice answers?
Yeah.
Okay, so A, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. B, The Lost Boys. C, Urban Legends. Or D, Disturbia.
I'm going to say it's either A or D.
Which one do you want to go with? Final answer.
A.
A? You are correct. A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Revenge.
Sweet! Cool, I like this game.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
I have to change that one. Because everyone thought that movie was like a huge homosexuality thing.
Yeah,
with
I heard
the
about
thing.
that.
That's good on you. Good on you.
Thanks.
But yeah, so that's the game. Hopefully we'll be able to play it, and if people enjoy it, think it's funny, then Go Home Netflix You're Drunk might be a new addition to the Socially Awkward show where people can sit down and play, and hopefully play at home if you guys want to. And hopefully we get a bunch of guests in to start playing. Matthew put did you put the frowny face in that?
What?
I just said, oh, never mind. I thought I was in this like... Because I have an old Google Docs for the show where I put it together and everything like that. But yeah, so I want to thank everyone for coming out and hanging out with us for the Halloween Spooktacular 2016 episode. I want to thank everybody who called in. Feel free. I think we're going to try this voicemail thing some more. Maybe we'll start doing some socially awkward questions.
It's going to be out there, so call and leave us voicemails whenever. And if we have specific things, we'll update it and get out the information.
Yeah,
so
if not, even if you just want to do a shout out, like, hey, this is so and so from such and such. I want to all that kind of stuff because we can use you guys for bumpers then. But Matthew,
dance for us monkeys.
Matthew, if people are looking for you on the interwebs, where can they find you?
I retract that last comment. You can find me at Matthew Renfro. 2 T's.
Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and I think we have an Instagram. I'm not sure. I'll have to check with Eric again. But of course, you can find me at Stephen Mooney Jr. on the Instagram. On the Twitter and on Instagram is S Mooney Jr. Don't forget to give all of our Facebook page a like and check out all the other great shows on the 4i Radio Network. And I guess until next time, kiddos, you better tap that safe.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.